We're building the next chapter of American exploration, returning to the moon to stay, so we can go beyond to Mars, to expand what's possible and further our understanding.
We want to be one customer of many customers in a robust marketplace between the Earth and the moon. And we want multiple providers that are competing, welcome to the competition, that are competing on cost and innovation so that we as NASA can do more than we've ever been able to do before and advance the human spirit just as the video just said. In other words, we're going to buy the service. We call it the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Program. We believe there is a lot of amazing science that we can do on the surface of the moon. In fact, science that we can't do anywhere other than the surface of the moon. We have commercial companies that are going to be taking our payloads to the surface of the moon in the very near future. Lockheed Martin. I don't know if you guys saw on Monday we landed on Mars.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There are parts of the moon, especially when the sun and the earth are on the same side of the moon, that dark side on the other side there. It's so quiet there that we can see all the way back to the dawn of the universe in a way that we can't do anywhere else, not even on satellites. So we want to go do these measurements there. On the moon, there's water to drink some of these resources such as water, and we're really excited.
You know, a lot of people don't realize from 1969 up until 2008, a lot of scientists, they don't recognize it now, but a lot of scientists at the time believed the moon was bone dry. Barbara Cohen is standing by to tell us about our Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and everything they're doing there to learn more about the moon.
Hi everyone, I'm Barbara Cohen. I'm here at Goddard Space Flight Center, where we manage the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter for NASA.
Today we're working with FIRST to help inspire the next generation of students and have them follow through on the same dream.
So here right now it's traveling towards the destination. Oh, it crashed.
Sometimes space is hard. Sometimes space is hard.
And go. Hi, I'm astronaut Stan Love here at Johnson Space Center.
Hi, I'm Andrea Mosley, Apollo Sample Laboratory Manager and Principal Sample Processor. I've worked with the moon rocks for 43 years, and I love it.
Can the astronauts do their own 3D printing on the moon if you deliver the raw materials to them? Thank you for taking our question.
The answer is absolutely.
How are you going to protect the astronauts from all the radiation?
It's a wonderful question. There's a number of ways to do it. The radiation can be mitigated by just having it impact material before it gets through and hits the astronauts. That's a big challenge, though, because you have to have a lot of material to interact with that radiation to protect the astronauts, and that's very heavy.
My question is, if you wanted to take humans to Mars, I think there would be 3 ways to do that. Using solar energy, battery power, and gasoline. If you use gasoline, that would be the source for when everything runs out.
I'm looking at your fancy Moon to Mars logo, and 15 years ago, almost to the date, I sat right over there when President Bush had the different arrangement of words and said, we're going to go back to the moon in about 10 years. 15 years later, we're still 10 years away or so from humans. Your Mars charts stop with Mars sample return. Your moon charts stop with a single human landing. There's no from there to here bridge chart. And I'm kind of wondering what NASA's been doing in the ensuing 15 years. I mean, I know the answer, but I want to hear yours. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that seems to have changed is the color of the carpet in this room.
Negative. That's not the only thing that's changed. If you look at Space Policy Directive 1 from the President, he says we're going to the moon, but we're doing it in a way we've never done before. So what that enables us to do, according to the Space Policy Directive, to partner with commercial industry. In other words, this is not going to be Lucy and the football again. We're not planning to go to the moon, and then we're going to not go to the moon. We have a question that's coming in on the phone line from Leonard David, National Geographic. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thanks. Very good preamble. Does NASA have its act together right now on the types of experiments that you want to send to the moon to begin with?
So it's actually interesting. I would have actually said that the timeline that we're putting in front of us to get to the surface of the moon is unprecedented. We've never done anything that fast. We've never done anything that fast.
Will the upcoming moon missions be live streamed like they were with the first man on the moon missions years ago?
Thomas?
What do you think, guys? They say yes. So, look.
So from my perspective, the answer is 1 out of every 4 people on the planet in 1968 heard or saw that broadcast. 1 out of every 4 people on the planet. You think about the way communications work today compared to 1968, it's not going to be 1 out of every 4. We're going to come to a day where it's 1 out of every 1. And people are going to say, wow, look at what they're doing on the moon. It's going to be incredible. And that's the future that we want to achieve. We're going to the moon. We're going to utilize our commercial partners. We're going to utilize our international partners. We're going to retire risk. We're going to prove capability and technology. And ultimately, we want to take it all the way to Mars. We're going to utilize the resources of the moon, which is something that has never been American policy before, but it is now. And we're going to use our commercial partners in order to help us not just know where those resources are, but help us understand how do we take advantage and utilize those resources. Specifically in this case, we want to take advantage of the water ice that we believe is available in hundreds of billions of tons on the surface of the moon.